Today, on the day that this is being uploaded, it's my birthday. And so, because I'm in an especially reflective mood today, I want to share with you 19 lessons I wish I knew sooner. Let's go. Money loves speed, wealth loves patience, and poverty loves indecision. The reason the rich only get richer is because they have so many reference points from which to make decisions. And the only way you can gain those reference points is by having experience, which comes from failure. So that leaves us with only one option: to take action. Because either you win or you fail and you learn. And because money loves speed, if you just make decisions in one day that the average person takes a week to make, you will progress through life at 7 times the speed of the average person. Your hardest chapters become your greatest stories. It's true. Look, if you're starting in a really tough spot and you have it hard starting out, you should be glad, because that would just mean your story will be all the better. And not only the story will be better, but the hero in the story will be stronger. And that hero is you. People don't judge you. They judge themselves through you. The reason is because we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are, right? So if you have someone that's constantly insulting you and just criticizing you all the time, all that does is that speaks about them and who they are and how insecure they are on the inside. So don't ever let others' opinions of you change the way you live your life. You never get hate from above, only from below. And that's because when you take the action to change your life, all you do to those people below you is remind them of their inaction. And that's why they just want to drag you down, because it makes themselves feel better. But on the outside, all they show is hate, not envy. So the key here is just to ignore them and take so much action that they shrink into irrelevance. To know and not do is not yet to know. It's far better to read only 100 books in your lifetime and apply them properly than to read 1,000 and to apply nothing. And that's because it's not how much you know, it's what you do with what you know. Knowledge is power, sure, but only when it's transferred into action. Speaking of knowledge, self-knowledge is the most important form of knowledge. The problem is that you will not learn it in school because it's far more efficient for the system to teach us all the same thing and treat us all as the same, but we are not the same. And that's why self-discovery is so important. Learn about yourself before you learn about others. Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. You will only write a story you're fulfilled by if you're the one holding the pen. Most of us spend the majority of our lives conforming to the expectations of our parents, to the expectations of teachers and societal pressures. And because of that, we don't even live a life we truly want to live. The decisions that we make aren't even our own most of the time. But that's why it's so important to know yourself deeply and understand your values, and to be able to listen to that voice deep within. Having a great strategy is not about following a plan as rigidly as possible. It's about putting yourself in positions where you have more options than others. And this is why most people get stuck and paralyzed in trying to plan out everything. Dwight Eisenhower said, "Plans are nothing, planning is everything." Which means that yes, take a stop and look around. But do not get paralyzed in trying to plan everything out. Just take the next step and then stop and take a look around at your options. The point of life isn't to work so hard that you can escape and never have to work again. It's to find work so meaningful that you never even want to escape from it. We often romanticize the idea of retirement, but really, we're made to work. And when we step away from work for extended periods of time, we crave work. But the thing is, we crave meaningful work that is fulfilling to us, that plays to our natural strengths. So don't get fooled. Find work that lights you up. Grinding is a relic of the past. If all that was required to succeed in life was hard work, then every janitor would be successful. But the thing is, grinding at something that you're not 100% into is not ideal. Because someone else who is 100% into that thing will outperform you massively. Instead, you want to find work that looks like work to others, but feels like play to you. And then you grinding, or what looks like grinding, will be just you getting into flow. And that's the only way you can pursue mastery. Happiness is not an outer condition, it's an inner condition. Have you ever been in a bad mood for no reason? Right, you have. Then you can also be in a good mood for no reason. Happiness is not something we get by chasing it. It's something we do. You do not need permission to be happy, it's a decision you make. Successful people are not always looking to add more. They often eliminate ruthlessly to focus on what really matters. They focus on the 80-20, the 20% that produces 80% of the results. And if you want to begin implementing this in your life and get ahead of most people, eliminate junk food and eliminate all distractions in your life. Those two things will solve most of your life problems and get you so far ahead of people when you keep working on them. You do not need to have all the answers. I don't have it all figured out. Alex Hormozi does not have it all figured out, and neither does Jeff Bezos. They do not have all the answers to their questions, but that's okay. Because to succeed in life, you do not need to have all the answers to your questions. You just need to start asking the right questions. Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is not to stop asking questions. Curiosity has its own reason for existence." So, start asking more questions and see where it takes you. Reality does not cause us suffering. Our expectations of it do. And that's because everything since the Big Bang has just happened. It's not been good or bad, evil or benevolent, or ugly or beautiful. It just has been. It's just us humans who label things as good or bad, and we deem them either, great or terrible. And it's not the events themselves that cause us suffering, it's our expectations of how we think things should be. But if you detach your emotions and your expectations of how things should be, you'll find your life will go far, far easier for you. To paraphrase Carlos Castaneda, he said, "The difference between a warrior and an ordinary man is that an ordinary man sees everything as a blessing or a curse, whereas a warrior simply sees everything as a challenge." Don't follow trends and what is hot right now. Follow your purpose and your curiosity. John Mason said, "You were born an original, don't die a copy." The problem is that most of us end up becoming copies when we listen to these gurus and what they say they think we should do. But the thing is, we are all different. There's no one thing that suits everyone and that everyone should do. The key is to follow your own purpose and curiosity, where then you can escape competition through authenticity. If it costs your integrity, it's too expensive. Remember, your reputation is one of the greatest assets you have. And unlike money, once you destroy it or lose it, you can't exactly get it back. It's never worth the quick and easy wins in life, because in society, it's the people with the long-term mindsets who are heavily compensated. Success comes from good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from failure after failure. We so often want success without paying the price of success. But nothing in life is free, and the price of success is all the failure along the way. But here's the thing, failure is not an obstacle along the path. failure is the path. It's failure that allows you to spot the opportunities for success in the future once you've collected all the data. Remember, failure is data, not destiny. There are many right answers, but only one wrong answer: doing nothing. Theodore Roosevelt said, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing, the next best thing you can do is the wrong thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing." I'll let you make of that what you will. The bigger you want to win, the longer the delay between when you start acting like a winner and when you become one. And that's why it's the most successful people in life who are able to put in the actions required without seeing the results of those actions for extended periods of time. Think about it. The higher the peak that you want to climb, the longer that you'll have to spend with your head down just climbing. The only difference in life is that most of the time we can't even see our progress. And that's why the key is to be impatient with your actions and patient with your results. Act fast, win slow. Bonus lesson. Just about everything people do boils down to the desire for love and for status. And that's why if you are able to make people feel genuinely appreciated and make them feel important, there are few things you cannot get. But do use this ethically. Do not let yourself be seen as someone who only takes. Learn to give without expecting anything in return. Well, that's all for this year. Look, thank you from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, for joining me on this journey. Because even though I'm getting old now, I'm 19, we're only getting started. This is the beginning of my journey. I have a huge vision for what we're building here, and I want to thank you for being one of the OGs. Unless, of course, you're from the future, then I thank you regardless. Let's keep going, let's keep building, and here's to another year around the sun, another loop around the sun. Be mega. Ciao.